2001, September 11th terrorist attacks. The September 11th attacks were a series of coordinated terrorist attacks carried out on September 11, 2001, by the extremist group Al-Qaeda. The attacks targeted the World Trade Center in New York City and the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., as well as a failed attempt to target either the White House or the U.S. Capitol. The attacks resulted in the deaths of nearly 3,000 people and the injury of thousands more. The September 11th attacks were seen as a turning point in the history of global terrorism, as they demonstrated the capability of extremist groups to carry out devastating attacks on American soil. The attacks prompted a significant increase in security measures for American citizens and military personnel both domestically and abroad, as well as a heightened focus on counter-terrorism efforts by American and international authorities. The aftermath of the September 11th attacks was characterized by the launch of the U.S. military operation in Afghanistan, aimed at overthrowing the Taliban regime that had provided safe haven to Al-Qaeda, as well as the passage of the U.S. Patriot Act, which significantly expanded the authority of law enforcement and intelligence agencies to prevent and combat terrorism. The attacks also had far-reaching political and economic implications, as they led to a further militarization of American foreign policy and disrupted global markets and economies. The September 11th attacks continue to have a lasting impact on global security, politics, and economics to this day, and they remain one of the deadliest acts of terrorism in modern history. This is just one chapter in my book, What's Past is Prologue. If this content interests you, then you might want to get all the chapters under one book. There is a link in the description to pick it up at Amazon. I will include other links for other books I have published. Thank you for your interest. 2021, 20th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks. The September 11th terrorist attacks were a series of coordinated suicide attacks carried out by the Islamist extremist group Al-Qaeda on September 11, 2001. The attacks resulted in the deaths of nearly 3,000 people and caused widespread destruction, including the collapse of the World Trade Center towers in New York City. The attacks were the deadliest terrorist attack in world history and marked a turning point in global politics and the war on terrorism. The 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks was marked with solemn ceremonies and tributes to the victims and first responders who died on that day. The events of September 11, 2001, are still remembered and studied as a significant moment in modern history, and its aftermath has shaped global politics and foreign policy in the years that followed. On the 20th anniversary of the attacks, many people around the world paused to remember the victims and reflect on the impact that the events of September 11, 2001, have had on the world. The ceremonies and tributes were a reminder of the importance of continuing to work towards a more peaceful and secure world and of the need to remain vigilant against the threat of terrorism. This is just one chapter in my book, What's Past is Prologue. If this content interests you, then you might want to get all the chapters under one book. There is a link in the description to pick it up at Amazon. I will include other links for other books I have published. Thank you for your interest.